Hello, Riders of the Land. Welcome to our final week together, which I can hardly believe. Our final week of this class, we're looking at bringing together the threads that we've been reading and exploring and writing about, and kind of diving deeply into the main ideas of this week. Land is connection. So we've looked at land as character, land as plot, land as story, and land as emotion. And we're going to tie all those things together into land as connection. And as I was thinking about what we were going to be reading and writing this week, and all I could think was, well, why else would we read and write about the land other than connection? Whether it's connection with the land itself, connection with others who love the land, connection with ideas about the land that we want to convey, and as is so often the case, connection with ourselves. That connection with self that is expressed through and with our connection with the land, where the internal is reflected in the external reflects the internal, and all those kind of come together in a way that is so visceral. And so so we're going to dive in this week. In your folder in week 4, you do have the land as connection, the overview of everything we're going to be reading and watching this week. I just had to tell you, this is a piece of stained glass that's hanging in our living room window right now of the cover of Meadowlark, made by my friend Marie Hooper, who I had no idea was a Meadowlark artist. And this just arrived, and I just absolutely love it. So anyways, this is here. Some of the books that we're going to be reading from are The Anthropology of Turquoise, Reflections on Desert, Sea, Stone, and Sky by Ellen Malloy. I read Ellen Malloy by kind of like, I dip in and I just start kind of bathing in her language, because that is how exquisite it is. We're reading 2 pieces from The Anthropology of Turquoise, and also there are some radio where she read her essays aloud, some links to those as well, so you get to hear her reading and hear her voice. We are also looking at a variety of writers who have a deep connection with the land, one of whom, Rightful Place by Amy Hale Acker. And just even holding this book kind of feels like you're holding this, like the beautiful journal that's on the front. This was a Willa Award winner, Willa, named after Willa Cather from the organization Women Writing the West. This is an organization that Amy and I both belong to, a marvelous organization for women. I encourage you, if you're interested, to check it out or pop me a note. I'll be glad to connect with you. And Amy has a deep connection with the land. This is a series of essays. We are reading Rightful Place. And I just wanted to read you a piece that she wrote here. I am not the only person who admires this land, but I am the one who is here, being touched by it, with cricket song all around me. I lie on the prairie with a sheet of canvas separating me from the tight grass flat. As the colors I know hide in monochrome moonlight, I trust that I will be safe, without brick or glass or heavy wooden door. And included also is the interview that she had a conversation with Farm and Food Radio, Ray Bowman, and it's such an insightful conversation about her own writing processes and writing the land. I spoke with Ray. It was after The Blizzard That Never Was came out, after the storm, and we talked about Cloud Atlas, the Storm Atlas, Storm Atlas, and The Blizzard That Never Was, and Meadowlark. And I just found his questions to be so substantial and insightful. And so anyway, so and it's just wonderful to hear Amy talk also, and to talk about what went into this book. So we have that. We are also going to read from Wild, Jay Griffiths. And this is like this wild, juicy, raw, amazing journey. We're going to read a piece of hers called Wild Earth. And I just had to read this. This was the calling, the vehement, irresistible demand of the feral angel. Take flight. All that is wild is winged. Life, mind, and language, and knows the feel of air in the soaring flight, silhouetted in the primal. I mean, we're gonna read her piece, Wild Earth, but I just love this. The vehement, irresistible demand of the feral angel. Here we go. We are also reading from West with a Night by Beryl Markham. This book was published in 1942. Beryl Markham was a bush pilot in Africa. And in one of those, this is one of my all-time favorite books, and we're reading one of her pieces, My Trail is North. And notice how the trail conveys not only the land and her connection with the land, but her connection with her history and what is happening what's happening during the time that she's writing this, and how the land, her connection with the land conveys this. We're also going to be watching this incredible video called The Danger of a Single Story by Chimamanda Adichie, and incredibly powerful talk that she gave about the danger of a single story and how easy it is for us as writers and also just as human beings to fall into that narrow perspective of the single story, of thinking that our experience is the only experience, or that our story is the story, and the dangers against that, not only as a human being but also as a writer. And in Meadowlark this week, we're gonna so Grace and May and Daisy all have very different connections with the land, based on their own experiences and based on their history, based on their cultural experiences. So just kind of be thinking and looking at how, in your own writing, how can you convey the multiplicity of connections with the land to get out of the danger of the single story. So for example, I wanted to read you a piece from Meadowlark about Grace's own connections with the land. In her dream, Grace lay down upon the prairie and closed her eyes. She saw the veins extending from her body, out to her fingertips, her toes, her thoughts, her shoulders. Thin veins grew out into the earth. The earth drank her joy, her tears, her sorrows, her laughter. The roots of the prairie grasses plumped, sucking her juices. Outward, over the plains, she spread her roots and runners, creating new life, new hope, new faith. Outward, they flowed around her small human body, carrying her strength, the perseverance within her veins, back to where it belonged. Within each drop of blood, spirit lived. So, Meadowlark. Okay, so this is some of what we're going to be reading and writing about this week. I so look forward to your thoughts. I want to thank you again for bringing such courage and honesty, voice, dedication, compassion to your own writing and to the writing of all. It has made this experience absolutely amazing. And so this is definitely not goodbye. There is no way this is goodbye. This is just the beginning of the week. And so I will see you in class.